All right, well, we are going to try to do some learning here, but quite frankly, under some really depressing circumstances, and maybe you've already seen it. I posted it on my social media when it first came out, but a young kid, 20 years old, committed suicide because of a misunderstanding that he had going on with his Robinhood trading account. And I'm not here to play I told you so. I'm not here to do anything like that because it's tragic, right? I state the obvious when I say that. But there are some key things that I really just want to hammer home. And hopefully you already know this. And hopefully you realize that there is, a downside to ambition. And I had nothing but respect for this kid. He was ambitious. He was out there trying to make something for himself. Because let's be realistic. I give everybody credit. Even if you're using Robinhood or using any broker like a degenerate gambler, you know what? At least you made the decision to save some money. You could have taken that money and gone out and blown it on Netflix. You could have taken that money and gone out and spent it on who knows what else. But at least there is at least a shred of saying, you know what? I'm going to save some money so that I can go use it to try to grow it bigger. Now, growing it bigger, that's where things can really fall off that's where the wheels can fall off the bus. But like I said, I respect this kid. I respect anybody that has a trading account. Why? Well, because you need to actually save money to have a trading account. But that's the one part where, okay, that's great. That's great. You're ambitious. That's great. You want to, grow your money. But the markets are not a joke. The financial markets are not a video game. And if you've been a long-time listener, you've heard me hammer this stuff home over and over again. Risk management matters. Understanding risk matters. I get it. It's fun to talk about winning. That's the best thing you could talk about. I love talking about winning trades. But in trading, winning doesn't matter. Anybody can win. You can close your eyes, get dizzy, put a blindfold on, and then throw a dart, and you can still potentially have a bullseye. Trading and long-lasting success is all about, well, what do you do when you're wrong? How do you behave when you're wrong? How are you managing the risk? And a big part of risk management is, well, first off, just realizing that that's the forefront, but it's also having a full understanding of it. And unfortunately, in this case, this young man did not have a full understanding. I'm sure he went, and it's clear, what he was doing, he went through some education. He probably watched some YouTube videos. I don't know what he did, but he had some education. He had some understanding, but that's unfortunately not good enough in the world of trading. If you want to go play basketball, for example, I get it. You can have some understanding of the game of basketball, right? Okay, there's this ball and I need to put it in that hoop and I'm supposed to dribble it. Okay, that is some understanding. But I mean, does that mean you understand strategies and what a pick and roll is and what is a pump? I mean, no, but that's okay. You can still go out there and play basketball. But in trading, having some understanding is just not good enough. Now, and I'm not trying to come across like, and you risk, what happened here. But the idea here is that he didn't know what he was doing. And the part that really stuck out to me was from the article, and I'll put a link to below the article so you can kind of go through it on your own. But he says which is sad, his final note filled with anger toward Robinhood says that he had, quote unquote, no clue what he was doing. Now, I'm not here to kick anybody when they're down, but that speaks for itself, right? I mean, now, no clue is a little bit of an exaggeration because he clearly had some understanding, but at all, and this is not just for trading, this is really for anything in life, self-awareness matters. And if you're not sure about something, if you can feel that, yeah, I have some understanding, but not everything, that is okay. Admit it. I have nothing but respect for somebody that says, yeah, Clay, I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like a lot of times, and I get in the social media world, where like if you admit that maybe you're unsure of something, you don't know what you're doing, maybe you're a little unsure, then it can feel like the world's going to crash down on you because you're like, oh, well, you're too stupid. Oh, blah, blah, blah. No, the first step into actually knowing what you're doing is just admitting that you don't know what you're doing. So please just realize that going forward, it is okay to have some understanding. You don't have to go out there and act like you know everything. That's stupid. I laugh at people that act like they know everything. I respect people that say, yeah, I need some help. I'm missing some things. I do the same thing. I just picked up, I love to shoot a bow. But wow, I can kind of shoot it, but I'm not going to walk around and act like I know. I don't even know how to sight the thing in, okay? So right there, my self-awareness, I have a long way to go. But don't take, there's nothing shameful in admitting that, well, you don't know some things. And had this person just admitted, I don't fully know everything, they could have avoided this trade. But the worst part about all of this was it was basically just a little flaw, not even a flaw. I should actually take a step back. We don't know all the details of this because of privacy laws. Robinhood just isn't sharing all the details of this person's account. But with the speculation that's going on, I mean, it makes sense that the way the options work, and I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole because that's not the point, but had he just given it another day or so, everything would have worked itself out, and the big negative balance, and I'll put a screenshot up right now. This is from the article, but you can see had a negative balance of $730,000, and that's what sent him just clearly into a very dark place. But the thing was, it wasn't actually really that bad. But when you have some understanding, that's the problem. But like I said, the sad part was all he had to do was get a hold of customer service. All he had to do, instead of just jumping to the worst case conclusion, which I get it. That's a scary image to look at. That's a scary thing to see, especially when you're a 20-year-old kid. If I saw that image, that would be scary. But please, again, for just not necessarily for trading, but in life, just understand that I'd encourage you, if something seems really bad, it might be really bad, but don't just jump and assume it is as it is. Go out there, do a little digging, do a little research. And let's even say that it is as bad as it is. I bet that during your research, during your digging, you're actually going to figure out some solutions on to make it much less bad than it actually is. So point here, please don't jump to rash conclusions. Don't jump to faulty conclusions, because that can lead you down a whole path of more faulty conclusions, which is not where you want to go. So just also remember that. And I hope that I'm stating the obvious, but you know what? If I am, but this just helps one person out there, mission accomplished. Perfect. That's all I'm after. Just that one person. If they can go to a dark spot, like, you know what? I remember that one goofball. He really looked goofy. I don't even know what his name was on Facebook, but boy, he was a goofy looking guy. But he said something about maybe before jumping to some sort of rash, worst case conclusion, let me do a little bit of research. If I can help that one person, awesome. And it's crazy. All this person had to do was get a hold of customer service, and they would explain, oh, no, that'll update, and then everything will be okay. And then the final part, and I'm not trying to bash Robinhood, because I am not looking for more regulations in the industry or anything like that. And here's a little challenge for any of you that listen to the podcast. I don't know what episode it was, and even if I did, I don't know what part, but if you can find the clip where I ranted and raved about this one little thing that I'm gonna read right here from this person's uncle, then please send it to me, and I don't know, we'll give you a free t-shirt or a coupon. I don't know, we'll hook you up with something. But if you can actually find it in the podcast archive of 200 some episodes, that would be amazing. But here's what his uncle had to say about Robinhood, to which I fully agree. I can't stand Robinhood because of it. And this is why I will never recommend Robinhood. I think they're a total joke. I think now their marketing department, fantastic. But I agree with his uncle here. Tragically, I don't even think he made that big of a mistake. This is an interface issue. They have slick interfaces, confetti popping everywhere. That's the thing is, I talked about that and I ranted and raved about that in a pod. Like, who does that? Like, you buy something and confetti starts to rain from the sky? They are totally, and again, to pick up here, and I agree. Let's see. Says Brewster, referring to the shower of colorful confetti Robinhood routinely deploys after customers make trades. They try to gamify trading and couch it as investment. You're absolutely right. They do try to game it. And again, I'm not saying that Robinhood should be closed down. It's a free market, right? Let them do whatever they want. But this is why I try to always hammer home. And I get it. People kind of, Clay, dude, relax. But no, this is what I mean is when you get these young people and you don't know what you don't know, and you're ambitious, which I've already talked about, and you have some knowledge, and then you have a platform that makes everything seem like a video game, and then all of a sudden, boom, you have some sort of massive loss. That is messed up. Just realize, please, and hopefully I'm preaching to the choir here and the obvious, that trading is a business. There is no room for confetti, okay? There's no room for, oh, wow, no, it is a business. You can lose money. Your capital is at risk. Get that through your head. Robinhood, please, if nobody's from Robinhood is going to watch this, but if someone does, Robinhood, please treat your customers. Don't make them think that this is some big video game. Make them realize that this is a business where their money is at risk. Try to communicate that a little bit better to them because, and I'm not saying that's the only reason why this happened, but it's just the whole mentality that Robinhood, puts out there, and that, they know who their demographic is. young people just getting started, not with much money, and that's great. I mean, they changed the game to give credit where credit's due with no commissions, but there is also that line where I feel they cross, where they just totally turn trading into some joke, and they turn it into some big video game, and it's just not the reality of the markets. And really, I wouldn't have much problem with it if all they offered was stock, for example. But when you're offering options, which as you can see here, can have some crazy stuff that go on with it, I mean, put a little bit more seriousness into your platform. That's just my opinion. I get it. I'm all for free markets. I'm not saying they need to be regulated or anything like that, because at the end of the day, personal responsibility does come into play here. But it's just one of those things where I just can't stand that. So his uncle, I think he nailed it. Confetti raining down. They're just trying to make everything seem like a video game. I think they can do better. I think they owe serious traders a little bit of, I don't want to say respect, but I mean, this is the business. This is like the most cutthroat place in the world are the financial markets, and they have confetti raining down. That's just an issue. But that's all I have. Again, nothing. I feel so bad for this young man. It's terrible. It's terrible, terrible stuff that this happens. But hopefully you can learn something from it. Hopefully you can just have something reiterated. I don't think anything I said here was some sort of philosophical masterpiece, but just little things where even if this video can help one person out there, then mission accomplished. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.